Greetings, greetings, YouTube family. Okay. Um. Well, today I wanted to actually touch on the fact that I'm seeing warnings of how bad this is gonna be. Okay. Um. And some may wonder, well, why do you keep coming back? We already know you're crazy. We already know that God don't exist. We already know that we come here to troll you, and that's our stance. Well, until someone tells me what the heck is going on, I'm gonna keep on making these streams. Well, actually, because I don't really need no one to tell me what's going on. As I've said before, I read an Oxford issue Bible. Okay, there's Cambridge University issued Bibles. All right, but mine is from here. Look right here, Oxford University Press, New York. Okay, so when someone's telling me that we're reading fictional tales, who wrote the Bible, this is all fake, you let me know, what is the Black Plague, huh? At this point in time on the earth, with all this stuff happening, okay, in fact, when you oh, all right, no, let's hear what they're saying. Let's hear what they're saying. You're living in fear. Nah, caution. Caution. Not fear, caution. Okay? Here, look. Oh, excuse me. 1 second, please. My thing is, where's all my people at? Where's Sir Raider? Huh? Where's Sir Raider? Where's where's Boo Boo Kitty? Okay? Boo Boo Kitty. Evil Ways. Where's any of these people at now? If I'm living in fear. Hold on. Maybe you didn't hear this guy.
Coronavirus and it's moved towards a pandemic phase. We believe.
Okay, wait a minute, because let's get this right. Okay.
Every indication that the world will soon enter a pandemic phase of the coronavirus.
A pandemic phase. Now, Bill Gates was telling us for a while we wasn't ready for an epidemic. A pandemic is bigger than an epidemic. Okay? Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because it goes into what I'm about to show you. All right? And we're gonna try to sit through the whole documentary. Go try to sit through the whole documentary. Oh, listen to what look. Coronavirus is the name that they gave for it in the lab, but the flu did start in China. So the Spanish flu was a version of swine flu, but they still refer to it as the Spanish flu. Okay, so further down the line, right now we're calling it the coronavirus. Right now we may call it bat soup flu or whatever you go call it, but down the line they will refer to this as the China flu. Okay, the Chinese flu. All right, just wanted to let you know. Okay, here, look. Because now, look, this is how bad it was in 1918 that they had children making up songs for it. Don't believe me? Hold on. And the reason I'm making this video is to show you that diseases come from animals but always transfer over to humans. All right? So as this gets bad, people are going to have to live off of the land. You may not trust the chicken doesn't have a disease, but you may feel lucky to skin a raccoon or maybe gut a deer. Okay? But you're not understanding that them things have bacteria and diseases too. That's actually possibly able to transfer over to humans. Now, hold on. I wanted you to see how bad Spanish flu was, okay? Hold on.
Perhaps until
No, you didn't hear it good. Hold on.
Spanish flu has been what some people call a forgotten pandemic. But it was a huge global calamity.
A global
Number of deaths.
Okay.
We're saying 50 to 100 million.
Here. Now, they had, okay, I couldn't get it back that far. They had nursery rhymes. That's kind of like going back to the Black Death when they had the Ring Around the Rosies. Well, during the Spanish flu, they was I once had a bird named Enza. I opened the window and influenza. Something like that. It was something like that. Hold on. I'm trying to pull it up. And every time you try to, enlighten or try to warn people, something like this happens. Okay? Okay. Now, like that guy just said, hold on. Let me go back. Because now, well, you know what? In fact, I don't really... Here, watch this. Because people say, oh, look, that video I just showed you, verified. Hold on. See? Verified. So when you're saying, you're just giving me BS, you're telling me fake news, you're just living in fear, understand, okay? Just understand, I'm spreading the message. Now, it's up to you. If you want to watch somebody in their living room, that's up to you. If you want to watch a video game streamer, that's up to you. But me, I'm going to start showing this stuff. So I want to try to get through this documentary right here. Whenever you get the chance, this was a good video he just did. Richie from Boston. Put RFB2 into your YouTube search bar here and go subscribe. Because he has some pretty interesting content, okay? His platform is warning just like I'm trying to. Actually, his is doing better than mine, okay? All right. So, anyone saying, oh, you bringing us scary stuff or whatever.
Hearing? Don't skip this video. If you're suffering from premature hearing loss, the struggle could soon be over. Thanks to recent technological advances.
Now, I'm not...
Too wasn't worried.
Hold on.
They were grappling with the...
Wait a minute. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let this...
deadly outbreak of measles.
I'm not
Tiny
gonna.
rural backwater.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything no more. I'm gonna just let this documentary play out. Okay. Look, this was a flyer back in 1918. They said, "Do not spread the disease. Careless spitting, coughing, and sneezing spreads influenza and tuberculosis." This was well-known knowledge. Now, people don't have manners. People don't care. And they're spitting all over the place. Some people cough without covering their mouth. Other people will sneeze and not tuck their face into their arm, the cuff of their arm. Or they'll sneeze and not even cover. They won't even cover. Okay? So, look.
How could it spread far in such a sparsely populated area? Slowly the virus began to die down as it ran out of new people to infect. Perhaps it would have stopped there had the times been different, but 1918 was the perfect breeding ground for a worldwide pandemic. In early 1918, every military base was teeming with young men training for war. The military hurried.
Now, did you hear that? During the Spanish flu, they were at war. Do we not have war talks on our tables at this point in time? Okay. All right.
Build new barracks, hospitals, training areas, and facilities to support the influx of hundreds of thousands of men. Some of these men were volunteers, and some had been drafted. The strange new disease was just dying down in Haskell County when a few young men left there, headed to Camp Funston, Kansas, for training. Camp Funston, located at modern-day Fort Riley, was already over capacity, with 56,000 young men training for war. There hadn't been time to build enough barracks for all of them. It was the coldest winter on record east of the Rockies, yet many men were sleeping in tents without any heat and only thin blankets.
Now, the worst time for the flu to spread would be in the winter, okay? Chinese flu, Spanish flu, avian flu. Well, Spanish flu was a variant of swine flu, okay? So we don't know what kind of variant this CV is. So now once they're starting to say that we could possibly be on a rise of a pandemic, look, swine flu pandemic, okay? All right.
To keep them all warm, the commander ordered all the men to move into barracks, violating the health and safety
and that's
rules
another thing. Hold on. I'm so sorry because I want this documentary to play straight out. But at the same time, you can always check this documentary out yourself. 1918 Spanish Flu Historical Documentary. That's the name of the title. Now, my thing is, if someone comes up and says these things are natural, these are natural events that are supposed to happen. My question is, how come they're not prepared? How come they don't know what to do in these scenarios or these cases? Okay.
Dictated how much space each soldier should have. Inside the barracks, men huddled around stoves trying to keep warm. The men from Haskell County must have crowded in.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing. If an EMP goes off and we have no heat and viruses start spreading, we're going to have to be living like these people. We're going to have to huddle around little dumpsters with fire in them in order to keep warm. And if someone comes over and they're sneezing and coughing, they're going to spread whatever they're sneezing and coughing to you. Okay? That's what I'm trying to get through.
Close to, even as they began to cough and sneeze. That's all it took. In the overcrowded barracks, the flu spread rapidly.
Yeah, hey, you know what? They're going to call it the Sioux flu or the Wu flu. Sioux flu. No, I don't even, you know what? Seeing how fast this thing spread and seeing the urgency on the president's face, I don't really think we need to be playing with this at this point in time. I'm sorry. I don't think we need to be playing with this. Now, some people may say, yo, don't take it too serious. Don't live in fear. But I'm saying we should have a level of caution to this. Now, that's a funny joke, swoo flu. But at the same time, what were they calling the Spanish flu back then? Pedro flu? Ped flu? You see what I mean? So and it wasn't a joke. It wasn't a joke. In the beginning, maybe they was like, I won't catch it, or whatever, and they started laughing about it. But as the numbers increased, you started seeing that this was a problem. So what my thing is that was 1918. That was 1918. I don't think the population of the world was as big as it is now, for one. For two, we should have learned off of them. We should have had something backed up. How did our top minds, Bill Gates, Stephen Hawking, know that a new virus could possibly come out and harm humanity, but our governments, our top politicians did not care about that, and they decided to build a war defense, a defense budget. Okay? Now, during 1918, they was having wars. Look, all them mother freakers there got guns, okay? So they was in barracks too. So I believe pandemics and epidemics usually come around wartime, okay? To knock down the population. Not only are you dying on the war field, but you're dying off of disease. And not only that, but we need manpower to run these factories. So now if these factories shut down, and if this locust problem keeps spreading, that harms your food source. That harms your food source. Okay? So this is not playing at this time. This is definitely not trying to invoke you with fear. Okay? I'm just letting you know that the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, said that this could get bad. We already see half of China locked down, and that's why I'm watching this historical documentary, because I want to see what they did in their scenario. Let's go.
6 days for the outbreak to begin. The men from Haskell County arrived on February 28th. Less than 1 week later, men began flooding into sick call. Within just a few weeks, the flu swept across the base, sickening thousands and killing between 38 and 50. It was a high death rate for the flu, but it was nothing compared to what was coming next.
Okay. Now see, they told you the first wave wasn't as bad, but the first wave wasn't bad as the second wave. The first wave, they was like, whoa. The second wave came through and they was like, oh my gosh. You understand? So how many waves of this new thing that we got running around is going to be? Huh? Someone tell me that. How many waves of this new flu will we possibly see with so many people on the earth at this time? I'm just okay. Here.
The virus was about to mutate and become much, much worse. Flu virus.
COVID-19, CV is mutating. Okay, is mutating as I speak. Okay.
Arrived on February 28th. Less than 1 week later, men began flooding into sick call. Within just a few weeks, the flu swept across the base, sickening thousands and killing between 38 and 50. It was a high death rate for the flu, but it was nothing compared to what was coming next. The virus was about to mutate and become much, much worse. Flu viruses are constantly mutating, and sometimes there will be a really big shift, or a virus that usually affects only animals mutates so it can infect people too.
Okay. Now, mind you, there's a disease, and you can YouTube this. I could put in YouTube right now, zombie deer and zombie raccoon. There's a bacteria that deteriorates the deer. Now, people eat deer, and especially in times like this, because you're not going to trust your poultry or your food. You're not going to know where it's coming from. So you're going to go out and be willing to hunt. Now, in the Great Depression, people were eating squirrels, raccoons, and deer. Okay? If there's a bacteria that can give a raccoon disoriented rabies, where it's just like in a zombie state, if there's another bacteria that could deteriorate a deer and have the deer looking in a zombie state, how long before gestation and generations does it convert over to humans? Okay, now you may think that I'm reaching. You may think that I'm bugged out of my head. But just as I said to you, at any time, because I have to let this play through. I want this documentary to play because I want to learn off of it too. But at what point in time could we actually go to Google or YouTube and put in zombie deer or zombie raccoon? Huh? What? So now I'm bugged out. But they just told you that diseases gestate in animals so they can spread to humans. So what happens when that human consumes that animal? We were already mad at China for eating bat soup because we was figuring bat soup was the reason for the China flu, right? Okay, here, let's go.
And it can be very deadly. The flu comes
No,
in waves. That's why we
let's
have
go
a
back a
flu
little bit.
season. Although it may seem like a bad flu is done, it was a high death rate for the flu, but it was nothing compared to what was coming next. The virus was about to mutate and become much, much worse.
Okay, the virus mutated and became worse. The virus that's on the planet right now is mutating. Okay? What you say? Is when you don't have slice for lime for beer. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Flu viruses are constantly mutating, and sometimes there will be a really big shift, or a virus that usually affects only animals mutates so it can infect people too. When that happens, it can be very deadly. The flu comes in waves. That's why we have a flu season. Although it may seem like a bad flu is done, the flu can hide for a while, or go infect people in a different part of the world, and then return even worse. In the case of the 1918 flu, 3 waves of flu devastated the world.
3 waves of flu. Someone came in here and told me I don't understand cycles. Someone told me I don't understand cycles. Okay? No, there's 3 waves already. Hey, there's novel coronavirus, there is COVID-19, and then there's the coronavirus. What the heck is novel coronavirus? You can Google it. You can YouTube it. Okay? Is that a stronger strand? Is that wave 2? Is that wave 3? In fact, when I hear COVID-19, at least to me, it sounds like there's sounds like a secret weapon to me. I'm sorry. It just doesn't sound like a disease or a virus. A virus is something like coronavirus. You see? Or they said this is a stronger flu. Like, see, swine flu, avian flu. You see, Ebola. They didn't come out with no crisp 38. Like, whoa, what the heck is that? Whoa, you see what I mean? Like, who's going crazy at this point in time? Who's going crazy? Okay, here.
The first wave wasn't too bad, but the second and third wave...
The first wave wasn't too bad. China is the first wave. They locked that down. Now it's spreading, okay? So now you may say, no, it hasn't hit us yet, so this is our first wave. Okay, let's see what they say about the second and third.
Were extremely dangerous.
Extremely dangerous. Hold on, I'm going to rewind it for you.
Just at the end of the flu season, and that's why we have a flu season. Although it may seem like a bad flu is done, the flu can hide for a while, or go infect people in a different part of the world, and then return even...
Wait. CDC named it COVID-19? That's still kind of throwing me off, because when they just label it a regular flu, when they say dog flu or canine flu or something like that, you see what I mean? Why would they name it something as aggressive? That sounds like something that you would find in a file. That sounds like something that somebody would lock away or something. You understand? That just sounds too official or too administrative to me. Okay?
Worse. In the case of the 1918 flu, 3 waves of flu devastated the world. The first wave wasn't too bad, but the second and third waves were extremely dangerous. The outbreak at Camp Funston came just at the end of the flu season in the United States, So the first wave infected a lot of people, but then faded away. The military wasn't worried. They were grappling with a far more deadly outbreak.
That's what Donald Trump just said. He was like, you know what? When the weather warms up, it's going to go away. It'll go away. But just like they just said, it came back stronger. Hold on. Let's watch history. Because somebody said, I don't know history. And this is natural events that just take place. What my thing is if this is natural events, why didn't they learn off of these people? Why don't we have precautions already taken? Okay? All right. Hold on.
Waves were extremely dangerous. The outbreak at Camp Funston came just at the end of the flu season in the United States. So the first wave infected a lot of people, but then faded away. The military wasn't worried. They were grappling with a far more deadly outbreak of measles at the time. The flu virus seemed to fade away, but really it just went abroad to take on a world at war. It stalked into camp when the day was damp and chilly and cold, with a hand that was clammy and bony and bold, and its breath was icy and moldy and dank, and it killed so speedy and gloatingly greedy that it took away men from each company rank. The Flu, Private Josh Lee, 1919.
Hey, you know what? I'll be straight up with you.
And
I didn't even know that they named
But what I didn't know until recently was
they named virus bases off their shape.
Nearly all the ships carrying American troops.
Hold on. I didn't know that they named viruses based on the shape. But can you tell me what's COVID then? Because I'm not. It went from coronavirus to COVID. Okay? So I'm not. I don't know what shape COVID is. I'm kind of lost on that one. Maybe you know what? I'll Google it. But at this point in time, to me, that just sounds too. That doesn't sound like something that's like, look, black flu. Black death or the Black Plague. You see, we knew that was something not to mess with. Whereas that just sounds like, that just doesn't sound right to me. To me, okay?
To war arrived at the port in Brest, France. In April of 1918, just as the flu outbreak was dying down at Camp Funston, an epidemic began in Brest and slowly began spreading throughout northern France. Despite the illness spreading in the city, more and more troops poured in. Healthy men would land, become infected, and then ship out to new duty stations and to the front line, carrying the disease through every small town and hamlet through which the armies traveled.
Now, that's what's happening now. And in New Jersey, Nassau County, they're saying, do not bring the people back here. Okay? They're already saying it. They're saying, don't bring them over here because we know that it's going to spread. We have a large population. My thing is, as an administrative official that's supposed to be watching out, for the people, why aren't you, thank you for the star. Why aren't you sitting there saying, yo, let's quarantine these people on an island? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is where we're at. Why didn't they look? There's Google barges, people. There's a boat that Google made that they said that they scrapped one of them. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're really trying to learn how this virus works and stuff like that, you wouldn't bring them back to population. You would, if you're going to quarantine, you're going to evacuate an island and you're going to quarantine on that island. You see what I mean? But they're bringing them back to general population. Let's go.
Flu tore across France and followed the front lines into Belgium and the Netherlands. It jumped across the lines of war and began infecting the German army, actually affecting the outcomes of battle since so many troops were too sick to fight. It jumped from the German army to the German people. By May, it had reached Italy, where it crossed the Mediterranean and surged into North Africa. It also arrived in England by May, riding back on boats with troops heading home. Infection and death rates began to skyrocket in Spain and Portugal. The flu gained its name, the Spanish flu, from the early infection and high mortality rate in Spain, where reported 8 million died in May. Spain was neutral in World War I, and as a result, it was one of the only countries that was reporting the news without strict...
So during World War I, the Spanish flu was flying, okay? Just like you just heard, there was soldiers getting sick. So then that harms the battlefield. But our new war that we have is based on technology. We have soldiers that can throw on strength suits. It's like an Iron Man suit. They could just like step into it and then they could lift 2 times their weight, or they could run a little bit faster. And come on. So when they start losing, I watched this movie the other day, and in the movie, it was about well, either way, let me get to the point. At one part of the movie, they said that they wanted to remove people from the planet. I believe the sergeant or the captain stood up and he said that would hurt my military by like 30%. But they wanted to remove the planet due to the fact they wanted to remove people from the planet due to the fact that aliens had came and they told them, hey, if you give us people, we'll give you technology. So you give us the people and we'll help you with your technology. So they're at this the Pentagon meeting and they're like, yo, you know what? We should give in to their demands. We don't really like the people. They're kind of undesirables anyway. So just get rid of them. The guy got up. He was like, that's going to hurt 30% of my military. The guy looked over at him and he said, they're giving us free energy. He said, could you imagine what you can do with any kind of weapon or whatever weapon you want? That's extreme. He looked. He said, whoa. He didn't even say whoa. He looked and he sat down. So what I'm telling you is technology outnumbers a soldier. You need somebody to pull that trigger. But if they're building androids from DARPA and different Boston Dynamics and different places, if they're building androids, your android, that robot, is going to take way more bullets than your average soldier. Now, if you have a self-riding car, how far are you from making a self-driving tank? Just saying. They got aerial drones that fly without humans, non-man aerial flying drone. Okay, so technology is going to take over in this new world, this new war. We're not going to have to worry about populists or saving anyone. Okay, they'll be food for fodder.
Government censorship. Most countries didn't want to reveal to their enemies that they were battling an epidemic and didn't want to affect their people's morale. So the governments pressured the media to hide and downplay the severity of the virus. However,
hold on. Because see, look how bad this is getting, okay? Either way, yes, Australia did, so did America, so did Italy. These people are taking their people back in, and then they're trying to learn the virus too. Hey, you know, oh man, yeah, because see, you're right. I constantly look stuff up. I'm watching this documentary, okay? I'm watching the documentary to see how bad it was back then and to see if it gets any way worse right now, okay? Because the prophetic forecast is Tom Clancy's The Division, okay? Where they locked down Manhattan. They quarantined Manhattan. They showed you that in I Am Legend. There was some kind of disease that went around. They quarantined. They shut down the bridges to Manhattan. Okay? Something happened in Division where someone took a man-made virus, dropped it on the dollar right before Black Friday or right before shopping season. That dollar contaminated other dollars. Them dollars came in contact with humans and humans became sick. Okay? So that's the forecast. I hope I didn't make the game. You're just hearing me say that could possibly be the forecast. I'm hoping it doesn't get that bad. But at the same time, if this is anything reminiscent of this, it's going to get bad. Okay?
The press was free to report the news accurately. Newspaper headlines in Spain screamed of an epidemic that was killing millions, while other countries only whispered of the flu. The world believed the flu was worse in Spain.
Hey, Crookie.
Spain.
Crookie, thank you. Yo, I'm totally not aggressive. I don't have no reason to be. I'm trying to tell everyone to get right with God. Someone told me that God was fake. Someone told me God wasn't real. They said that there's no man in the sky or something like that. Like they were looking for a face. I was beside myself. Okay, but yeah, I'm putting out my opinion on my stream, and this is where I think we're going. I think we're headed down this path. That was the Spanish flu because they said that it took out the most people in Spain. But then what's this flu? This flu originated in China. But what if America's not prepared to the point that it takes out a large populace, a large population of America? Does it become the American flu or the China flu? You see what I mean? So either way, Donald Trump and the Center for the Disease Control in Italy and in America is saying that this can turn into something really bad. Well, actually, Donald Trump is trying to play it down, but he can't play down the logistics and the numbers. Okay, the numbers are staggering. Okay, so just let you know where I'm at. There's no aggression with me, and I'm just putting out my opinion. I think we all should start preparing. Okay, in fact, the people in China, that's what's getting me, because the Chinese people, when you look down the block, you see yourself. It's almost like looking in a mirror. But you know what? Now with this virus, they're treating everybody distant. Okay, no handshakes. They all got masks on. Okay, and then if a person has it, they're trying to spread it. I've seen people licking their hands and rubbing buttons. I've seen people licking food in the store. I've seen people spitting cups and throw it on people walking past them. Okay, so that's just in China. Do you know do you know how many nasty people there are in the world? Don't think because you're in Germany or France you're safe, because you know there's nasty people out there too. Now, I'm not trying to tell you that I'm better than you in no form or facet, because America is arrogant and wasteful. So could you imagine a person knowing that they have a disease and you possibly may not? They're going to try to douse you. These people, when they're locked up in jail, they urinate and defecate into a cup and throw it on their enemy or a cop when they walk past their cell. So that's just in prison, okay? Okay. Now I'm let you. Come on.
The only one talking about it at first.
Whoa. Do not use the A word here. Apocalypse is supposed to mean unveiling, okay? I don't want people to think that apocalyptic means ending or you're gonna die or something like that. Like I said, I've been constantly trying to promote God. That's what the meaning of this stream was. That's the meaning of this whole channel. I've had this channel for a year now. I've been saying, how come nobody realizes that there's a God, but all this stuff is happening upon the planet? How come we have a microchip that can be implanted into people so they can digitally buy and sell? Why are there locusts on the planet at this point in time? Why are there so many wildfires, earthquakes, volcanic activity? Huh? And now this flu, this pandemic. I wanted to let you. That's the reason I'm putting on this documentary. This documentary states that, and it may have stated it in the beginning, but the people that was catching the Spanish flu, they were thinking that the plague had came back because they were showing symptoms of the plague. Okay? So, cut it out. God's judgment is upon the planet, in my opinion, at this point in time. If you don't think so, that's on you. But there's too many activities. Yo, there was 12 plagues of Egypt. Okay? So, next we're waiting for fire and blood to rain. We're looking for frogs to start dropping from the sky. or taking over. And they're doing that in a part of China. Like they had this whole crop layout and the frogs were just like hopping all around. I don't know where they came from. Maybe they was beside something or whatever. But in order for them to record it, and they said that it doesn't seem normal to them, then I'm gonna say that's not a normal incident. Okay. Now maybe you'll say it's a normal incident and that happens to them every week. But I found it pretty weird that he decided to record that. So whoever he was, he or she, okay, they recorded it. I seen it and I was like, wow, we have frogs invading China. Okay. This can always go into your YouTube search. You can always do this search on your own. So you're trying to scare people into believing there's a God. No, there's no scare. I'm not in control of this. If you don't believe, that's on you. But from my perspective, since people have not believed in so long, now judgment is befallen. Because now people have the choice to do whatever they want. I'm not forcing you or scaring you into anything. But we all do know that nature does take its course and we do all pass away. We're not going to be physical forever. So if we do know that there's a spiritual realm due to the fact that they scientifically proven it, I think that maybe you should get to your spiritual creator. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Now you may say, what? You're crazy. They don't scientifically prove it. Where, when, how? They use thermal imaging in these haunted shows and these places to see if there's any temperature changes in their gauges to find out if there's a spirit in their haunted houses. They use hand recorders and walk around these empty rooms and start speaking into the recorder, waiting for a voice to respond. So if you don't think that that's scientific, I don't know what, then you can leave. You can leave at this point. But I know that they scientifically try to prove, at least in my opinion, anyway, in my opinion, they scientifically try to prove the spiritual realm. And guess what? They do. So I don't know. There's no fear at this point. I'm not trying to get no one to live in fear. Okay, hold on. You trying to scare people into believing there's a God. Hold on, wait a minute. Oh man, see? Okay. Cause now I feel like you insult my intelligence. That's how I feel. And I'm not aggressive and I'm not mad at you. Maybe a few other people feel like that. Maybe y'all feel like I'm trying to scare you into believing that there's a God. Hold on. See? Now I gotta mess up the documentary. You excuse whatever, okay? Hold on. Yeah, see, like I said, I don't know why people said, nah, he don't. Yeah, I do. I check it out. Oh, you know what? Hey, look, official fears global outbreak of coronavirus. Okay? That's CBC News. Just yesterday, I had a Fox News clip telling you coronavirus pandemic is a real fear. Okay? Go look at my last stream. So don't tell me that I'm trying to get anybody into fear to believe that there's a God when these people are telling you to fear this new virus. Okay? Okay. All right. Let's go.
Trouble hearing? Don't skip this video. If you're suffering from premature hearing loss, the struggle could soon be over. Thanks to recent technological advances, not any more discreet,
electronics
than ever before.
Look, I'm using a laptop to show you this. You're using a TV to watch this. I'm using a camera to show this. They're using hearing aids and pacemakers. They have electric wheeling chairs. We are totally dependent upon electricity, as if a coronal mass ejection from the sun would not cause an electromagnetic pulse from our atmosphere and shut down the whole electric grid. Okay? All right. Now, is that a fear? Oh, is it? Or is that telling you what can possibly happen? And that we shouldn't be dependent on electronics? I'm wondering at this point, because I don't want you to be fearful. I don't want you to sit there and say I'm trying to be apocalyptic, but I'm letting you know how this stuff can actually go. Okay?
They were grappling with a far more deadly outbreak of measles at the time. The flu virus seemed to fade away, but really it just went abroad to take on a world at war. It stalked into camp when the day was damp and chilly and cold, with a hand that was clammy and bony and bold, and its breath was icy and...
Well, hold on. I think me and them are the same thing then. If Fox News is an opinion entertainment channel, then that's what my channel is. It's an opinion entertainment channel. But is this entertainment at this point in time? Was Spanish flu an entertainment in the 1917? In 1917, was Spanish flu just entertainment? Should we sit there and say, Fox News try to warn anything? I'm not listening to Fox News. I don't believe Fox News, and I don't believe you. Huh? What were these people saying when they heard about the flu?
Moldy and dank, and it killed so speedy and gloatingly greedy that it took away men from each company rank. The flu, Private Josh Lee, 1919.
Hey, doesn't it feel like there's communists everywhere? Take a look at this. I just read this unbelievable article in The Epoch Times, and it talked about how a Chinese communist spy defected to the West, and he revealed in great detail how the Chinese Communist Party has been working to subvert our schools, our media, our businesses, and our government. This is something that Joshua Phillip, our senior investigative reporter, calls unrestricted warfare. Hey Josh, tell him about it. The Chinese Communist Party is waging an unrestricted war against the United States. The United States is what's standing in the way of the Chinese regime becoming the global hegemon. The United States is the country preventing them from taking the seat of the world leader. The Chinese Communist Party regards the United States as its #1 enemy. The Chinese regime works through front organizations, and they work through the local Chinese tongs, fraternal organizations, guilds, the unofficial governing body.
Hey, see, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on this planet, okay? So that's a secret war. That's why I even left that ad running, because some people may say, oh, you're trying to scare us into believing there's a war. You're trying to scare us. I'm not scaring anything. Well, you know what? I can't tell what I'm doing to you, but if I'm scaring you, please just leave. I did not create this channel to cause any fear, to spread no hate. I started this channel in proof of a living heavenly God. That's what I proved. And that's what I'm trying to prove. That's what I should be saying. I'm trying to prove that there's validity to the Bible. Okay? Now look. You'll say, oh, you know what? Nah, dude. You're reading fictional. You're reading fairy tales. You're reading baby books. Okay, right there. Oxford University Press. Oxford University Press. Okay, look at all these other places that was up there. Look, Hebrew Union College. Okay, DePaul University. All right. Look, New York Times Book Review. Okay, so. At this point in time, if you're not reading, if you're not trying to build, and you don't even need the book. You need to actually build a connection. You gotta say, yo, look, I know I'm not gonna be here forever. Okay. Let me try to start becoming more spiritual. Let me start realizing that there's another side to the coin. That's what I'm saying. So if you're in fear,
nearly all the ships carrying American troops to war arrived at the port in Brest, France. In April of 1918, just as the flu outbreak was dying down at Camp Funston, an epidemic began in Brest and slowly began spreading throughout northern France.
Now see, on one side of the world, it started breaking. They were starting to break and they were starting to come out. But the other side, they started building up a stronger strand because it went to the other side and they didn't know how to affect it. Okay.
Despite the illness spreading in the city, More and more troops poured in. Healthy men with land.
And see, that's another thing. Thank you. That's another thing. If I'm trying to scare you into believing there's a God, don't believe there's a God, but be fearful of this. And I'm not telling you that. I'm just telling you what CBC News said and Fox News said. Okay, that this thing and the CDC. The CDC. Even if you want to sit there and say, oh, you're listening to these fake news programs, or you're listening to CNN, or these mock news, or fake news, or whatever. The Center for Disease Control is saying this. The Center for Disease Control. Okay? Okay. So, at this point in time, this is not my opinion. This is not entertainment. And if you feel like such, leave me back at zero. Leave me back at 0 people in the room. And then I'll just put this up for YouTube. And then whoever I see in the street or whoever I come across, I say, hey, I made a video about this. Check it out. Okay?
Become infected and then ship out to new duty stations and to the front line, carrying the disease through every small town and hamlet through which the armies traveled. The flu tore across France and followed the front lines into Belgium and the Netherlands. It jumped across the lines of war and began infecting the German army, actually affecting the outcomes of battle since so many troops were too sick to fight. It jumped from the German army to the German people. By May, it had reached Italy, where it crossed the Mediterranean and surged into North Africa. It also arrived in England by May, riding back on boats with troops heading home. Infection and death rates began to skyrocket in Spain and Portugal. The flu gained its name, the Spanish flu, from the early infection and high mortality rate in Spain, where reported 8 million died in May. Spain was neutral in World War I, and as a result, it was one of the only countries that was reporting the news without strict government censorship. Most countries didn't want to reveal to their enemies that they were battling an epidemic, and didn't want to affect their people's morale, so the governments pressured the media to hide and downplay the severity of the virus. However, in neutral Spain, the press was free to report the news accurately. Newspaper headlines in Spain screamed of an epidemic that was killing millions, while other countries only whispered of the flu. The world believed the flu was worse in Spain, when in actuality, Spain was the only one talking about it at first. The flu continued spreading beyond Western Europe. By July, it had jumped to Scandinavia and Greece. The same month, the flu crept its way into a tense Russia, where the Tsar and his family had just been executed, and the Bolsheviks were battling with other factions to see who would control the future of...
During wartime, epidemics and plague and sickness spread. Okay? All right. So, there's no trying to scare you into believing there's a God. I'm letting you know, during apocalyptic times, the hand of God comes. Okay? Now, it's up to you on what side you want to be on. You could either be on the side where I feel my opinion is the good side, where you actually care about your environment and your neighbor, your brother, okay? Or we can have this society now where you can do whatever you want and not care about other people's feelings unless it's legislated for you to do so, okay? Because we all have that mentality now. Yo, you're not paying my bills. You don't feed me. You're not helping me. So why do I care? But if you say something bad about someone from the LGBTQ community, you may be penalized. So you'll think twice about saying that to another person, right? So they get to constrict the way you live. They get to change your mindset on how you're living. But you're telling me I'm wrong for telling you that there's a Heavenly Father that gave you morals and a compass? Okay.
Russia. A boat filled with 6 sailors arrived in Mumbai, India at the end of May. First, a few dock workers reported sick. Then workers at the next docks became ill. And then men at the nearby warehouses got sick, and so on, into the city. Ships left those same infested docks and spread to other ports in Asia. Sick people boarded trains in Mumbai and spread the disease like wildfire along the railroad lines up into the subcontinent and continental Asia. The flu showed up in China around the same time, spreading inland from a dock in Shanghai. By June, it had arrived in Singapore, a world trade hub where the flu infected...
That's staggering. 25 million people in Europe died from plague during the Black Death. That's staggering. But then they just said like 8 million died in the Spanish flu. So with this new disease, how many people are going to possibly die? But at the same time, like I said, the reason for this documentary is to see what they went through. Because so many people say you don't know history. This is natural. God isn't real. You're making this stuff up. So this is what the stream's for.
Dock workers and spread to the local population. From the bustling docks, sailors carried the flu south into Indonesia and north into Malaysia and Thailand, where it continued to spread. By July, it had reached sub-Saharan Africa, with infected sailors who arrived at the ports. It entered West Africa from ships arriving in Freetown, Sierra Leone. It infected Eastern Africa via the port in Mombasa, Kenya. Ships arriving into Cape Town set the virus loose in South Africa. From these ports, influenza ripped its way across the continent, devastating the population.
Now, why aren't there no dots on our side or over here? What's up with over there? There's no dots. No dots. But now we have dots. Now we have dots, okay?
July, it had also reached Peru and begun spreading across South America. By August, it had returned to North America. By October, it had reached New Zealand and Japan. By November, a lethal outbreak was surging across Colombia, Argentina, Uruguay, and Chile. Despite quarantines on ships entering port, dockers...
There we go. There we go. Now, for so many of you that said, haha, you thought that there wasn't going to be no dots on our side. My thing is, if we had a history of a pandemic, why didn't we get ready for this one? Especially with, like I said, Bill Gates, a successful top, I don't even know what you want to call him, because he's not a physicist. Stephen Hawking is the physicist, okay? So you want to call him a mogul or rich man or whatever you want to call him, okay? He was telling us that we needed to get prepared for this. Why wasn't our political parties? Why wasn't... You see, this is where I feel like this is... If I'm crazy or if I'm trying to force you, why aren't you mad about this?
Restrictions and a concerted effort at containment. It finally spread into Australia by 1919. In less than a year, the deadly flu had surged around the world. The flu was able to spread so efficiently for many reasons, including the movement of vast companies of troops around the world, and the conditions those troops were living in. World War I was desperately brutal, and trench warfare made for horrific living conditions, and for the perfect breeding ground for disease. Men lived out in the open, with no protection from the freezing winter, the pounding rain, or the sweltering sun. Troops at the front lines lived in filthy trenches for months at a time, where they had to eat, sleep, and answer all the calls of nature within close contact with each other. When it rained, the trenches filled up with water that became rank and foul as it had nowhere to drain. Men's feet rotted in their boots, a condition called trench foot. Dead bodies lay decomposing in no man's land between the two armies. When it rained, water would wash excrement, decomposing body parts, and filth down into the trenches where the men lived. Constant bombing churned up the dirt and turned the ground into a sloppy swamp. The mud became so bad that in some places it was like quicksand. Planks were laid down for the men to walk on. There were cases of horses, pack mules, and even soldiers slipping off the walkways and drowning in the mud before they could struggle out of their heavy gear. By the end of the war, over 9 million combatants and 7 million civilians would die in the war. Thus, it's not surprising that when a virulent new virus arrived, it became an even more deadly foe than the enemy soldiers. At some point, in the summer of 1918, the flu mutated to become more deadly. It gave some people the normal symptoms of fever, chills, nausea, aches, and diarrhea, and many got sick, then recovered like a normal flu. Some were sick longer or died after catching a secondary infection, such as pneumonia. However, many people became violently ill with strange symptoms. In fact, in the July 1918 edition of the medical journal The Lancet, doctors argued that this strange epidemic couldn't be the flu because the symptoms didn't fit. Italian doctors argued the same. In some people, Spanish flu caused fevers that were so high people hallucinated. Some writhed in agonized muscle pain so bad that doctors thought they had dengue, also called breakbone fever. It made some people temporarily or even permanently blind, deaf, or paralyzed. Some lost the ability to smell. Some had strong vertigo and would fall over if they tried to walk. Extreme ear infections developed very quickly, going from the first pain to the eardrums rupturing within only a few hours.
Okay. Now this is the flu. Spanish flu. So how bad is this one? And if you're sitting there still like, you're trying to fear me, you're trying to make me in fear. If this doesn't put you in fear, I don't know what will. Okay? I didn't make this documentary. I'm not trying to spread no fear. I'm trying to tell you what happened in Spanish, in the Spanish flu. Okay?
Some had terrible headaches and double vision. Severe mucus excretions and inflammation made it hard for victims to breathe. Some people coughed so hard they tore their abdominal muscles. Doctors doing autopsies saw lungs so damaged that they resembled those of people who died from poisonous gas. And
what nefarious agenda is the fact that we're all going to die and we're going to have to see our maker? What nefarious agenda is that? I'm kind of lost there. I'm not understanding. And it's freaking working. And definition of agenda.
A list of items to be discussed at a formal meeting.
Okay.
Do you want to hear the remaining one?
Yes.
An appointment diary.
Okay. All right. And a point in a diary, or discussing different things. So if you're saying that I have an agenda, you don't have to watch. You don't have to watch. But I'm not trying to form an agenda. There's no agenda. I'm not asking for no money. I'm not I didn't even ask you for your time. You chose to come here. Okay? I ain't asked for no money. All I'm telling you is that there's a living spiritual world on the other side after we die. There is an afterlife. I was speaking to this atheist a few years ago, and the atheist actually believes that when we get killed and we die, that everything goes black. Like when you just close your eyes and you just... That's what he believed. As if no one's ever told him about out-of-body experiences. As if he's never dreamed before. You see what I mean? Okay.
War. Some people developed a symptom most physicians had never seen before. Tiny puffs of air would leak out from tears in the lungs and get trapped beneath the...
Yes. Yes. We all will die. No living in fear will change it. Very true. But what I'm saying is if the Bible's a fairy tale and if God don't exist, then there's no afterlife. There's no after this. So that means that you may as well do whatever you want here now, because when you get to the other side, there's nothing. Okay? So that's where they're saying, no, if you want to transform into the opposite gender, you can do that. If you want to love someone a little bit younger, you can do that. We're giving it all to you now because the doomsday, the atomic doomsday clock is at 12 seconds to midnight. That was from the scientists. That's from the scientists. Okay? So in 2018, I believe it was like 2 minutes to midnight. Okay? So they keep playing with the atomic doomsday clock. Scientists. Now, what's their agenda? I wonder what their agenda is. Or is that like a warning or a caution? Is there an agenda behind it? Is that supposed to make us live in fear? They have a show, or they had a show on the History Channel called Doomsday Preppers. Is that an agenda? What is that? Is that to make the economy better? That wasn't on the internet. So I don't see where anyone's trying to spread an agenda. I know I'm not. The most agenda I'm trying to tell you is, at the end of the Bible, the earth gets reset and God sets up his kingdom on earth. This stuff about us dying and we're supposed to be dead and our eyes closed and it's just black and all this other, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. That could be your opinion, but that's not my opinion. Okay? So you can do whatever you want on your stream. You can do whatever you want on your opinion. But my opinion says that there's an afterlife. So as these events are transpiring, there's nothing to fear. These were already prophesied to happen. Okay? The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Okay? One was plague or pestilence. One was death. One was war. And one was famine. Okay? Famine's no food. War, you know what that is. Pestilence is plague, and plagues could be anything. Earthquakes are going to be a plague. Fires could be a plague. Okay? So this stuff is actually this is actually coming to pass. But people done told me that the Bible is fairy tale. So now, and I've had people come in the stream tell me that I'm crazy, cuckoo, nuts, you're living in fear and stuff like that. As I just showed you, your top news segments are telling you this is something to fear. As you just heard me tell you, you can Google it and check it out yourself. The CDC said that this is something to fear. So I'm not up for speculation at this point. I'm not up to check out opinions. Okay.
Again, puffing up in little pockets all over their bodies. When they moved, the pockets would crackle like a bowl of Rice Krispies, according to one nurse.
Hey, I don't know.
No, but wait. Wait, Glam. If people getting conspiracy theories, the people getting conspiracy theories have the agenda. What agenda are they trying to have? That's what I'm not understanding. What agenda could they possibly be looking for through their conspiracy theory? I have a conspiracy theory that those people turn into reptilians and they eat and they cannibalize people. What's that person's agenda? What are they trying to scare me? They trying to get me to not ever shake that person's hand? I don't understand the agenda behind that. The doomsday clock is based on the mathematics of human survival. Doomsday clock has nothing to do with God. The doomsday clock is based on the catastrophes of mankind. And each one, if we're getting closer to destroying ourselves, that's how the clock moves. During each conflict or each disturbance within humanity, or every time we break a treaty or something like that, that moves us closer to midnight. The atomic clock is keeping track of atomic warfare. Okay? Hold on. God dang. Because I know what you're saying. You're saying you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, hold on. And you say, no, I didn't say that. Okay, because no. The reason why I say you're saying that is because you're saying based on the mathematics of human survival. But that's not what that clock was dedicated for. That was to let us know how close we were to atomic warfare. Okay, hold on. Hold on. And then you know what? See, I was trying to let the documentary go, but you know what? Hold on. Oh, here we, yep, right there, boom. Okay. Oh.
Mom, a lightning bolt hit the insured's riding mower, but his farmer's home insurance policy covered the damage. They really do know a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
I was the same way at his age.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Get a quote today. Martel Langsdorff, and the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists sets the clock to show how much time we have left until midnight. Midnight in this case meaning nuclear Armageddon and the end of humanity.
Okay. This is not a scale to measure human survival. This is not a scale, okay? This is a scale to let us know how close we are to nuclear warfare and destroying ourselves, okay? So in my opinion, in my mind, that puts us, that makes the clock right next to God, okay? Because after we destroy ourselves, where do we go? Okay? Spiritually. So when you tell me that it's designed for human survival, they just told you it wasn't made for that. And I just told you that I heard, in fact, the scientists came up. You can do just like you told me to go look up COVID-19. I'm gonna tell you to go look up the atomic doomsday clock for 2020. Okay? And they're gonna tell you that it's 11 or 12 seconds to midnight.
7 by artist Martel Langsdorff, and the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists sets the clock to show how much time we have left until midnight. Midnight in this case meaning nuclear Armageddon and the end of humanity. In January 2017, the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists revealed that the clock ticked 30 seconds closer than last year to the end of times, and cited, among other things,
no, don't, because I know what you may possibly say.
And cited, among other things, climate change, cybersecurity, the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists.
Before you say, oh, in 2017, they said it was 30 seconds. No. Right here at the bottom of the cardboard thing, it says it's 2.5 minutes to midnight. That was in 2017. Then in 2018, they said we're 2 minutes to midnight. I forgot what was the time in 2019, but I heard just recently, due to the conflict or the climate with our tense relations with Russia, Iran, Korea, all these places, they moved it up, okay? It's not 2 minutes no more. It's like 11 seconds or 12 seconds to midnight, okay? So, you know what? Just for you, and just for the stream. This way people don't think that I'm just, I'm trying to fear you into God or something like that. Hold on. Now, the reason I'll say that, yeah, see, I'm going to have to look for that. I'm going to have to look for it. I forgot where I heard it too. And I was like, oh, that's good. That's good. We're 11 seconds or 12 seconds to midnight. I never heard that before. If everything's so natural.
But his farmer's home insurance policy covers the damage. They really do know a thing or two because
they keep on putting this farmer's commercial on. Ain't that something? Anyway, I don't even want to hear it. The atomic clock is moving. Just like you said, it's about human survival. So once the clock hits midnight and we're destroyed, do we does everything go black like when our eyes close, or does our soul leave our body and it become like a dream? Okay, that's where I'm at. That's so. Can you explain that to me? That I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to learn if the atomic clock has nothing to do with God. What comes after midnight? After destruction? After we're all gone from here? No, it was human factors that destroyed us. But what is animating our bodies? What is controlling? What is making you choose the options in your brain? Because we already know people go brain dead. People become paralyzed, and they could still be in their body, but as much as they may want to walk, they can't walk. As much as they may want to move, they can't move. If you're in a coma, you're in a coma. So what's keeping our bodies animated? And then once the body is destroyed, where does the thing that's keeping your body animated go? And is that not you? Are you not in? There's sometimes that people's nervous system shut down and they're not in control of their own body. But you know you're in your body, but you can't control your body. So what happens to you after your body is destroyed? That's what I'm asking. I already know the human factors, but I'm saying what comes after the human factor? It can be moved back if the factors change. Very true. But it's pretty close right now. Okay? Now, yeah, you're right. Oh, man, hold on. Because I've seen this. This is 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I only watched verified stuff. I can't... I lied. I lied right here on stream. I lied. I don't only watch verified stuff. I watch anything that works up to the verified. So if I watch some, and you could discern, or you can actually say, all right, this guy's preaching BS. This guy's garbage, or this guy's whatever. Whereas when I sit there and I see a video, I say, oh no, that goes back to the video that I seen the other day. That links in. So then I come up and I load up my camera, I load up this laptop, and I show the stream just in case I go outside and somebody's telling me you're crazy. You're like, well, no, I've been doing these videos for years. I've been seeing these other videos. Hold on. That's another thing. Verified means their account is verified by many accounts. Wait. Is verified means their account is verified. My account's verified. LOL. Okay. So what are you doing with your account? Because these people have 3 million views. Okay. So since you're YouTube verified, okay, are you putting out any kind of videos, or are you just doing streams, or and then how did you not go through a lot to get your channel verified? Okay, so why are we just brushing verification under the table like it's nothing? You act like all channels are verified. Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, Nova, PBS, all right. No, only top channels get verified. Only top channels. So if you're a top channel, you must be putting up something, right? But not everybody's verified. So cut it out. If you trolling, just go. I don't need you here. Don't make it seem like when I say I'm watching verified videos that, what does that mean? That's not nothing. No, that's something. They're verified by YouTube. So if I put up fearful stuff, I'll get flagged and reported. They're verified. They have thousands or millions of views. Somebody would have flagged them down already and said, whoa, this is garbage. So don't cut it out. Cut it out. Don't tell me that verification's not. That's verified. That's verified. Everything else. Everything else what? Anyway. Like I said, oh yeah. I'm not trying to scare anybody into anything. But as we just seen, Spanish flu started in pigs. Somebody consumed the pig, got swine flu, and started being a walking contagion. Okay, now, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Okay? Hold on. Okay? Zombie. Watch. 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 Hey, you know what? I never tried this one. Nope. Nope. Look. Nope. Nope. Look. Nope. There's no such thing. Okay. 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 Watch. Thank you. Thank you. Hold on. No, yeah, right there. Boom. Okay? Okay, verified now. Verified. Verified. So once people start eating venison, could that not spread to the people? If coronavirus spread? Okay. Okay? Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. When you get the chance, you check it out. Since you're verified, you should have a channel, or you should have a video depicting this stuff. Because all these are verified, bro. All these are verified. Just in case you're like, nah. Okay? All right. Now, if you eat deer that has this bacteria, you can possibly catch their disease. Look, zombie deer disease. All right. Hold on, because they was eating these during the Great Depression. This and raccoons. Hold on. No. Hey, look, automatic. Verified. Oh no, non-verified. Verified Inside Edition 1 year ago. Pix 11 verified 1 year ago. So these are new diseases popping up in the animal field that, as you just seen with the Spanish flu and as you're seeing with the coronavirus, can spread to humans. Okay? So now we can possibly see a pandemic or epidemic of this disease within humans. Okay, hold on. Let's see what they got to say.
They look as if they stepped out of The Walking Dead.
That's just scary.
A coyote blaring its teeth. Crazed-looking foxes.
Now, like I told you, once this coronavirus starts spreading and they start slowing up the ports and they can't travel as much anymore, for one, the food prices are going to double. For two, if they start doubling the food prices, the fuel mileage may double. Now, if that doubles, they're not going to be delivering as much. If they don't deliver as much, people are going to have to go back to survival instincts where they're hunting to survive. Now, what will they be hunting?
Going insane.
We have one of those raccoons in our yard, the zombie one.
Yes, she really said zombie. People all over the United States are reporting seeing them. These ragged coyotes look like they crawled out of a grave, but they really have mange that makes their hair fall out.
It was like a Walking Dead type of thing.
Joe Evans came face to face.
Now. You think I'm playing? Or you think that this guy's playing? Who's playing? Maybe you're playing. Okay.
Looking raccoon in his backyard.
The thing looked possessed. It's hissing and it's showing its teeth. Rather than being scared of me, it was like provoking a fight.
Kara Smith is a professor of epidemiology at Kent State University.
What's up, Damien? My bad, bro. I was looking at the screen. I didn't even see you come in. What up, bro? You don't need promise of salvation to be a good person. Then your morals become corrupt, because then you become a good person just for society basis. You're not becoming a good person for your for your soul or for your salvation. You see what I mean? From salvation, you're like, well, anything can happen. Okay? Whereas with me, I'm sitting here and I'm saying, well, I know that there's a creator. I know that we all need salvation. Hey, what's going to save you after the atomic doomsday clock? That's what my thing is. You still haven't answered that. If there's no God and the atomic clock is no proof of God, and we don't acknowledge God before the atomic clock runs out, what's going to save us once the atomic clock runs out? Or do you think we don't need saving? Do you think that we're just going to go into some black void? We're going to close our eyes and it's just going to all go dark? And then what happens if your body explodes in a thermonuclear conflict? You see what I mean? What's animating your body? Because your body will still be here, but if you're knocked out, you're in dreamland, right? True, you can't strike something that isn't there. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. What's up, Damien? What up, bro? Yeah, I ain't here. I don't know what you mean by what. Yeah, yo, you know what's really sick? There's people out there that don't know about this. Hold on. Let's see how many views this thing got. Oh, I see it. It says 1.8. Hold on. Dang. And what my thing is how come nobody's talking about this? Because that's what I'm saying. We could keep on making fun. Yo, I hope you get coronavirus. And we can make fun of it all we want. But was they making fun of the Spanish flu before they got it? Remember, the kids was making up melodies. I once had a bird. Its name was Enza. I opened the window and influenza. See? So if they was doing, and during the Black Plague, they was ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down. They was talking about if you had the disease, they light you up in a bonfire and you would turn to ash. Excuse me. Should we be playing with this at this point in time? He just told me the coronavirus is when you don't have lime with your beer. That's what he said. So like I'm saying, I'm like, okay, if you want to play with it at this point in time, but this virus is so sick or so aggressive that it shut down China and its ports. There's some Chinese people that have to eat off of vegetation. I seen the video, okay? So if you're not doing the research at this time, you're not knowing what's about to come. Can you predict the future? Can you see storms coming? Huh? This is going to be one bad storm. Because we got war talks. I was wondering, I was like, wait, why would Trump not keep the nuclear treaty between Russia? I didn't understand that. But as we're starting to head to, that's why they said that the atomic doomsday clock is 12 seconds to midnight. Anything could go off. And now with this disease on the planet, yo, we could be like 3 seconds to midnight. You just don't know. So after midnight, is there no spirituality? Does everything just go black? It's just like boom, and then that's it. We just like, that's it. Because if that's your opinion, it sure is not mine. I constantly believe that that Oxford University would not print a Bible, okay? New English Bible, okay? Oxford University Press. Oxford University Press. So until you pull up a Cat in the Hat book or a Dr. Seuss book that was printed by a high college, Stanford, Cambridge, Oxford, okay? Once you start pulling that up, then I'll start saying, yo, maybe God don't exist, okay? But until then, from what I know, Dr. Seuss creates Cat in the Hat books, not prestigious universities, okay? Okay, so where I'm at right now is after this infectious disease that she's reading on her book, once this infectious disease spreads to humans and we start losing populace and we don't have as much meats filling our supermarket or as much food filling our supermarket and our shelves start going bare and they start quarantining, how are we going to eat? And what are we going to eat? Okay? That's what I'm trying to get through to people. We need to think about this type of stuff. Because back in the Great Depression, they lived off of the land. They would sit there and they would eat deer. They would eat venison. They would eat raccoon. They would eat squirrel. They would eat birds. Okay?
In Ohio, she says these scary-looking animals have either distemper or rabies.
Rabies is 100% fatal in humans if it is not treated before symptoms appear. They're drooling. They seem that they can't control their bodily movements. It's difficult to watch.
A rabid coyote just took a bite out of this 5-year-old girl in Westchester County, New York.
I didn't scream. I didn't panic. It was coming through the baseball field. The gate was open, and it was running like a cheetah.
The off-duty cop who came to her aid has also been given the rabies shot.
It hurts a little bit, but I do feel
So they're trying to relate it to a form of rabies. Now, when you get the chance, you look that up yourself, see what you find out about zombie raccoons, because we know that people used to eat raccoons at one point in time, and if coronavirus was spread through eating a contaminated animal, that's how the flu became what it is. Now we had the swine flu, we have avian flu. Well, what kind of stuff would this be? So hold on. Like I said, when you get a chance, check that out. Now let's go to this one, because all it did was spread from raccoons to deers.
Better known as zombie deer disease, is making headlines all across the Midwest.
It actually eats holes in the animal's brain, and that's why this term zombie came up in Minnesota, because the deer, they lose all fear of humans, they're lethargic, they salivate.
While scary, CWD is not new. The first case was discovered in Colorado back in
CWD.
The deadly disease.
Excuse me. Did you not just tell me they named diseases off of their shapes? CWD. My case, I rest my case, okay? There's no COVID shape, and there's definitely no CVD shape, okay? All right.
Spread to 23 other states, as well as Canada, Norway, Finland, and even South Korea.
Yeah, rodents have spread it.
Wisconsin back in 2002, where thousands of deer have since contracted the illness. In 2013, the Iowa DNR recorded its first positive test along the Wisconsin border. We've now
I didn't get to see the other comment, but my YouTube channel's called John Cage. So go to YouTube, put in John Cage Mark of the Beast, and I should pop up, because YouTube possibly may have me shadow banned, and that's not good. Shadow banned is when you put in John Cage and your name doesn't pop up. And I don't know why my name's not popping up. They have like this artist or this guy singing or whatever. Okay? So now I was like, wait, there's a John Cage? Anyway, in order to find me, you're going to have to put in John Cage Mark of the Beast, and then you'll see my name. If you don't want to be lied to, don't lie. Okay, very true. But what am I lying about? The most I admitted I lied about was I said that I don't watch non-verified. No, I lied about saying I only watch verified accounts, because that's a lie. So I'll let you know I lied. But where am I lying? Okay, it's all basic instinct to all but the mentally ill. Oh, so survival instinct is basic instinct? That's what you're telling me? Because if it was basic instinct, how come people have to be taught how to survive? They wouldn't have a show called Naked and Afraid.
Seen a total of 45 here in Iowa. 17 of them coming in just the past year.
It's a disease that you can't get rid of. There's no cure so far, and so...
Okay. So we have these new plagues, these new diseases popping up. We have wildfires all over the place, earthquakes, volcanic activity, and locusts. Locusts are on... Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me take you there. Look. And these are all cartoons. But there's this one picture that has all the plagues. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this is historic. I don't even... they done tricked y'all into not even believing in history. That's crazy, yo. The 10 plagues of Egypt. Okay, we got red water. We got water turning into blood upon the planet. And like I said, now we got the locusts. So at this point in time, if you're not realizing history, if you don't know what's going on, then you need to do your own research. Now, if you choose not to, that's your choice. Just like some people can learn how to survive, you can learn not to survive. That's on you. But as I sit here and as I see that there's blood water, okay? I know that there's locusts on the planet right now, okay? Next I'm waiting for is the frogs to fall from the sky. But that's where I'm at, okay? Everybody. It's not just black people, okay? Everybody believes that there's a God and that his judgment is going to befall. Okay? Look. 3 years ago, 10 plagues. I kind of want to hear what they're going to say, but that kind of, it's defeating my purpose. My purpose is to let you know that these things are enacting upon the planet right now, and that we need to get right with God. That's it. That's not scaring you into fear. And if you're in fear, then you shouldn't be here, because you're not listening to anything I'm telling you. These are all actions of God. So if you're in league with God, then he may protect you and give you the strength to surpass these things. Whereas if you're materialistic, like the Egyptians were, into their gold and into their children and all that stuff, what was the first plague? To take away the firstborn, right? Okay. And now look, how much does it cost to make a movie? That's my thing. Because if these were all fairy tales and fake stuff, why would they even take the time out to make these movies? This is a documentary. That's a documentary. What was their agenda? To get you to listen? What's their agenda? I don't understand the agenda behind these conspiracies. And that's my opinion. I'm not stopping nobody. I'm not blocking nobody. That's not what this channel's for. Okay? I've been called some pretty horrible stuff. I'm waiting for the people to come back and tell me I'm living in fear. Because now your channels are telling you to live in fear. Look. Okay? Exodus, Gods and Kings. And this river looks like a river that was in Moscow. Hold on. Just in case. Look. Right there. Boom. This ain't me. Why would I have to lie? Okay? So maybe you're not doing the research. See? Look. Verified. Now you can say I'm verified, but you better have 35,000 people watching your video. You better have 18,000 people watching your video. You better have 12,000 people watching your video, or at least sub to you. And stop making it seem like verification isn't anything. You have to get verified by YouTube. Look. We all know that these are the plagues. We was waiting for the water to turn to blood. They're all over the place. It's all over. It looked like the cartoon thing. Okay, look, stop playing with me. Stop playing and get yourself right with the spiritual creator. That's it. That's where we're at this point. Now, if you don't believe, that could be you. That's your choice. But if you don't have no explanation for this, then you can't tell me what's going to happen after that doomsday clock turns to midnight and the missiles start flying. They have a hypersonic. And then I heard somebody was talking about they're trying to come out with a super hypersonic. What the hell is super hypersonic? I thought hypersonic was just in a class by itself. Hypersonic means it's there like that. Oh, like it'll take 5 to 10 minutes to get here. They're trying to have super hypersonic. This way it's like impossible to stop, super fast, and it'll be here quicker than my snap. Okay. Do you think meat and animal trade is satanic? I do. Yes, I believe that we've been conditioned and raised and treated to slaughter. This way, it would make us more aggressive and violent. Because if we didn't kill our food and we cultivated it and we did agriculture, you would respect the land more and you would respect your neighbor and your brother more. Whereas since we're killing and we're eating blood and we're eating flesh, now we don't have no problems killing the next door neighbor. Now we could pull out a gun and shoot our brothers. You see what I mean? We're not killing the meat and the animals with physicality. We're not choking them. We're not like ripping their jaws open or nothing like that. When you see these slaughterhouses, they use like a cattle prod, or they use like this air gun that they shoot right in the head of the cow or whatever. That's the same thing as what we're doing now in the streets. That's how we kill each other. You pull a trigger. So now they're pulling triggers to kill the animals. They're pulling triggers to kill each other. Once we start, because they do have guillotines. They have been making guillotines. How hard is it going to be to press a button on the guillotine or pull down the lever of a guillotine if you've been pulling the trigger? You're just pulling. So now we're, and look at that. You see what I mean? Like when we was doing agriculture, all of our gestures were outward. You would pick or you would pull in order to receive. So when you're shooting or you're killing someone, you're sending out the vicious activity, but you're also pulling in. Okay? Just think about it. The bullet's the negative energy that you're sending out. Once you kill that person, your gesture, your finger is pointing in. You're pulling that trigger towards your circumference, your body. So, yes, I believe that meat and animal killing is cruel, vicious, and satanic. At the same coin, I would sit there and say that we were taught that. We was taught to live like that. But also, the Bible states that we can eat certain meats. So we are in control of the animals on the earth. But to the excessive population that we have, and now to the fact that we have supermarkets, we're eating way over the amount that we were supposed to eat. Like, I don't think our bodies were designed to eat every day. But now we have this regimen where we eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner because that's the way that everyone supposedly eats. Whereas in nature, you usually hunted and you would find a boar, you would find a deer, and then you would try to make that last. Look at lions. Look at nature itself. They don't have refrigerators. They eat as much as they can, then they go sit down in a corner somewhere until they're hungry again, and then they go back on the hunt. They're not eating 3 meals a day. You understand? They catch their one meal, they eat it like it's 3 meals, and then they go sit down somewhere. So that's where I'm at. If no respect for animals, what respect for humanity? Yeah. Because that's where I'm at. I believe that's through the fact of so much hate, greed is upon the earth is starting to be recycled. So now we're starting to see these plagues and these events takes place upon the earth. This new strand of flu, which could possibly turn into a plague, okay? And that's something scary. That's not nothing to mess with. But at the same time, like I said, okay, here, hold on. Revelation, because that's what I'm trying to tell you. We're at the end of the Bible. This verifies the fact that God's word is real. And here, listen to this. Listen to this real quick. Let me get to it. Please. I know it's in chapter 16, so if you want to read along, if you want to grab your Bible or whatever. Okay. Here, I'm gonna read here, just listen. Revelation chapter 16. Then from the sanctuary I heard a loud voice, and it said to the 7 angels, go pour out the 7 bowls of God's wrath upon the earth. So the first angel went out and poured his bowl upon the earth, and a foul and malignant sore appeared on the men that wore the mark of the beast or worshipped its image. Now, as dependent upon technology as we're becoming, not only is that microchip on the field, but the image would be like a statue or a painting. So that could possibly be like an android or a robot. All right. So whoever worships this or has the mark of the beast will get malignant sores. The second angel poured out his bowl onto the sea, and it turned into blood like the blood of a corpse, and every living thing in the sea died. The third angel poured out his bowl into the rivers and springs, and they turned to blood. Then I heard the angel of the water say, just art thou in these and thy judgment, thou Holy One, who art, was, and shall be. For they shed the blood of the prophets and the saints. Hold on. For the prophets and the saints, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy. And I heard the altar cry, yes, Lord God, sovereign over all, true and just are thy judgments. So the angels agree. They're saying, let these people drink blood, let these people go. Okay? That's how bad this planet is about to get. Okay, hold on, because I'm trying to show you where there's no fear. So now you may say, "Oh my God, this is crazy." Hold on, listen, keep on. All right. The fourth angel poured out his bowl unto the sun, and it was allowed to burn men with its flames. They were fearfully burned, but they only cursed the name of God, who had the power to inflict such plagues, and they refused to repent or do him homage. It's right there. Oh man, look, God, right there, right there. Okay, I ain't playing with you. I ain't playing with you. So if you're sitting there at this point in time, you're scared, that's up to you. But the plagues are due to the fact that they did not repent and they did not pay homage. So you can sit there and constantly say there's no God, as the world's been preparing you to do so, but that's why these plagues are happening. Now, that was chapter 16. Revelation only has 22 chapters in it. 22 chapters. So once that stuff starts happening, here, look. Where is it? 21. Revelation 21. Give me a second. Give me a second, please. This way you can hear it, okay? Oh, all right, here. Look, 21. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had vanished, and there was no longer any sea. Now, this is Oxford University Press. Oxford University Press. This is not Dr. Seuss. This is not DreamWorks. This is not Paramount Pictures. This is okay. Hold on. I'm not done. Hold on. No, I'm okay. You all right? Okay. I'll come, baby. I'm coming. I'll be there. See? I'm not spreading no fear. I have children. So this is not good for anyone at this point in time. But get this. Hold on. I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, come down out of heaven from God, made ready like a bride adorned for her husband. And a loud voice proclaiming from the throne, now at last, God has his dwelling amongst men. He will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself will be with them. He will wipe away every tear from their eye. There shall be an end to death, and to mourning and crying and pain, for the old order has passed away. Then he who sat on the throne said, Behold, I am making things all new. And he said to me, Write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true. Indeed, they are already fulfilled. Look. Right there. Where is it? Right here. So this is already biblical. Okay? Look, these are already indeed, they are already fulfilled. What's fulfilled? The words. Write down these words, for these words are trustworthy and true. Okay. So at this point in time, if you choose not to believe in a God, if you think there's no God, that's on you. Okay. Thank you for being here. I gotta go. Love you all. Thank you for staying. I'm out. Oh, what? What? Are you serious? Okay. Okay. Cause I for one, I thought I hung up. Oh, I had to go run and do some fatherly duties, but I'm back. I'm back. If anyone can argue this Bible and the fact that it was made at a university, then my argument's out the window. But as I'm seeing this stuff happen upon the planet, this can't knock the fact that there's a God, at least in my opinion. Okay? I welcome all comments. You tell me why we have blood water on our screen and locusts eating our vegetation upon the planet. Tell me why these plagues are befalling the earth, the globe. The globe. Well, if my case is claimed, I rest my case. Okay? Until someone can actually come up against the modern English, okay? The Oxford edition, okay? The Oxford edition. This isn't baby books. Hold on. You may have thought, hold on. You may have thought I was going to pull out this book, huh? You may have thought I was going to pull this one out, the New King James, huh? You thought I was going to pull that out. You're saying it has no relevance. Hold on. You may have thought I was going to pull this one out. You didn't even. This one don't even have a name on it. Hendrick's Bible. But this is King James, another King James Bible, okay? No, I brought you an Oxford Bible, okay? So at this point in time, if you want to play with God, that's on you. That's on you. I can't control you. And I'm not trying to control you. There's no reason for me to try to control you. I would like to actually explain, I explain it as the fact that these are the acts of God, okay? He had some angels, just as it says in 16, Revelation chapter 16, he had some angels do his work and turn some water to blood, and it's going to happen on a global scale. Read Revelation chapter 16. It's only 22 chapters in it. Only 22 chapters. And the earth gets recreated. And there's people on it. Would you not want to be one of the people? Okay. All right. Well, as I usually end my streams, to our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us for our transgressions, as we forgive those who transgressed against us. Lead us not into temptation, please, Lord, but deliver us from evil. For the kingdom, power, and glory is yours forever and ever. Amen. I hope whoever sees the video, watches the video, recites the prayer in their head. And it's not only about reciting the prayer in your head. You need to hold on. I want to take the words right from Revelation. Because it's not only about the fact that you pray. Because they refuse to repent or do him homage, pay homage, respect, okay? So when you pray, you may be paying homage, but you have to repent. Repent is stopping from whatever negativity that you're doing. Now, that's not the way to salvation, but that's an act working your way towards salvation. That's an act working towards salvation as well as praying. Okay? So, right here, Oxford University, right? Right here. Homage. Look, the fury came upon the sun, right there in 8. The fourth angel poured out his bowl upon the sun. What bowl? The wrath of God. Okay, so I'm not trying to force feed you with fear. If you feel like this is fear porn at this point, just remove. You can go. But we have a virus, a pandemic on the rise. We have blood seas, and we have locusts in a feeding frenzy. Okay? So that's up to you. But I love you all. Thank you for being my subs, my subscribers. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for being my trolls. Okay? Anyone that came here, you took out the time to come here, and I appreciate you. I hope you appreciate me for giving you this message. But at the same time, I'm just telling you what's written. So we're in the end of the Bible. We're in Revelations. We're like in the middle of Revelations, okay? Look. Chapter 14, verse 9. Here, let me read it to you. This way you know, okay? Chapter 14, verse 9. Yet, right here. Yet a third angel followed, crying out loud, whoever worships the beast and its image and receives this mark on their forehead or hand, he or she shall drink the wine of the wrath of God poured out undiluted into his cup of vengeance. He shall be tormented in sulfuric flames before the holy angels and before the Lamb. Okay? What's the mark? Receives the mark. What mark? That microchip. Hold on. Just in case you're like, what microchip? This guy's always talking about some microchip. Hold on. You may be new to it. Here, right there. Boom. Here, what? Boom, right there. Boom. If you get that mark, if you get that chip, it's toodles for you. Okay? It says it. It says it right here. It's right here. Look. Look, I ain't playing with you. I keep telling you. Here, look. And he caused all, small and great. Look. Whoever wouldn't worship the image of the beast. This is right there. Look. This is chapter 13. Chapter 13, verse 16. Moreover, it caused everyone, small and great. No, and that was the image, the robot. Hold on, look. At 15, it was allowed to give, the beast was allowed to give breath unto the image of the beast, so that it should speak and could cause all who would not worship it to be put to death. Moreover, the image of the beast caused everyone, small and great, rich and poor, slave and free, to be branded with a mark in their right hand or forehead, and no one was allowed to buy or sell unless he had the mark, the beast mark, either name or number. Okay? Okay. So as we're starting to see the rise of a cashless society, digital currency, we know that we're going to need this thing in order to buy and sell. That's on the planet. It's on the planet. Right here, right now. So that's where I'm at. Verified accounts. If this was garbage, they would have pulled it down. Nah, this ain't real. Okay? So that's where we're at this point in time. So if you're still sitting there playing and you don't, I'm not too sure, you're on the fence, toodles. But this is a no-go. This is a no bueno, okay?